Hey guys, let me know if the stream is fine. Just setting things up for today. All right. So today, the idea would be to, or the plan would be to finish this VFX that we have been working on. So where did we leave last time? Just check. Yeah, so we're gonna polish this flame VFX. Right now we have a block or a base ready, but we're going to do some fancy stuff to it so that it looks much better and stylized. And as always, if you have any questions or queries, drop it in the chat and I will hopefully help you. So first thing that I'm going to do is add distortion to the texture so that it does not look so bad. Actually, I'm just going to play it so that, yeah. So I'm going to add distortion to the texture first so that it does not look so bland. Okay, so I've done some changes as well. This one step, this two step. Let's just attach this. Alright, so we have this right now. Okay. So we can do a much better job than this. Scale a bit. Alright. So I'm going to add distortion to the flame now. Actually, you'll be able to see the distortion much better if I just do this, maybe for now. And so let's add distortion. So it's not that difficult to add distortion to the texture. You just have to add so I'm going to add it to the UV. Call this texture distortion. Texture. And so I'm using Amplify Shader Editor to make the shader quickly, and later I'm going to optimize it using code. I'm going to write it in HLS, but to prototype and to make this quickly, I'm going to use I am using Amplify Shader Editor. In the last stream, I kind of explained why I use Amplify Shader Editor. I also went through the process of writing shaders through code as well. But today I'm exclusively going to be using Amplify Shader Editor to create this shader. So let's put a noise texture here. Right now it's distorted, but it's going all crazy. But we're going to pan it. Panna. Then we're going to add some speed to this. And then we also need UV coordinates. And we're going to scale thing. Okay. Then we'll have to add some offset to this, so we will add minus 0.5 to this, and then we are going to pan it by 0.5. No, we are not going to pan it sideways, we're going to pan it upwards. And now you can see how it looks. So we have this effect. This effect is due to the distortion, right? So Baswaraj, hello, I'm outside and will be reaching home sometime. I'll join in a while. Sure. So since now that we have, obviously there's a problem right now wherein you can see that this texture is styling, right? So what we can do is that we can clamp this texture and make sure that the tiling is disabled. So the way we can do that is that there is an option over here. So here it's repeat, we can put it to clamp, and now the texture won't, and we can hit apply. Now the texture won't tile, it will just clamp to 0 and 1. And we don't want, if you want this much distortion or not is a question of preference. So we can, what we can do is that we can add a strength modifier. So we can add a float. Yeah, and then we can multiply, let's not use all the channels, and we can multiply it by a certain value, and we can make sure that based on the strength, that is, so the strength, distortion, strength. Hi Graphy, how are you doing? Strength. So now we have a distortion slider over here, which can give us, let's see how it looks. Where is my quad? Let's see. It's not a property right now. So now we can, so you can see that when I add the distortion to max, it's coming to the center, it's going into the center, but when I reduce it, it gets offsetted. That is because I've hard coded the offset over here. So what we'll have to do is that we'll have to, based on the strength over here, we'll have to adjust the offset as well. So basically 0 to 1 is minus 0.5. So how can we do that? I think what we'll do is that we can do a vector 2, and we can start this at minus 0.5 and minus 0.5, and then we can use an add node. We can add this over here. Then we can add these two values. Then we can do this. Okay, I'm going to clean this up and I'll show you how to clean all this. How much can you bench press? How much can I bench press actually? I don't know. I've never done the like the max, whatever you call it, max. I've never tried that because I'm worried about injury. But generally, weekly, I do like 20 kgs. 20 kg is my limit, at least, and I do it weekly once. In fact, I did it yesterday or Monday. I did it on Monday. So that being said, and I have to add this here, and then we will append X and Y, and this. Is this correct? No, this is not correct. I'll have to figure this out. We'll figure this out later. First, let's just get the effects done. So we have the distortion right now, and let's do this. Okay, so the mask is the one which is moving. So just we have some frame distortion here. So we have this kind of an effect. I think we can also distort the noise so that it looks good. And the way we can do that is by banner. Next step is to also distort the noise. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to use the same technique that I did here. I'm gonna try doing it. Yeah, so I have this effect, which is no, we don't need that. We don't want that. Oh my God. Touch. Oh my god, my camera is too close. Huh? Make sure my camera is not too close. Let me just stop this over here. Reduce the strength to 0.4. Offset to minus 0.5. Alright, so let's just fix this issue that we are facing right now, which is if I change the distortion, the texture coordinate offset should also change. So if I go 1, what is happening if I go 0? Have you been to IGDC Chennai last year? Why they moved from Hyderabad? I think the Tamil Nadu government gave them a good deal with regards to the location and everything, and Hyderabad government was not ready to subsidize, so that's why they moved to Chennai. No, I have not been to Chennai for IGDC. The last time I visited was when in Hyderabad itself. So yeah. So if it's 0, so it should always be 0.5. That's what we wanted. I think we're getting a much better result now. It's just that stretching. Let me just fix this once. Yep. Alright. I don't think so. I'll be attending this year as well. I'm just too busy right now. Alright, so I think I'm happy with this basically for the fire, so you can see how it looks now. And what we need right now is some smoke and distortion around, like the heat hazing that happens basically when there is flame, and some dust particles basically, like embers or something like that is flowing up with some smoke. So I think we can start with the smoke right now, and I'll start with the smoke texture. Actually, I can also just give you one 0.5. That's too fast. Minus 0. Ah, this is just a simple frame. Isn't this working, the gradient? Second. Gradient 0, 1. Gradient 0, 2. Why is it disappearing? That is the question. Isn't the pan working? Pan is working. Okay, so this is the problem that I'm facing right now, because I'm multiplying these two. There's hardly anything that is visible right now. So if I put this as 1, times 2, getting better results. Oh, okay. So that's the problem. 0.5. Why is it not continuously coming? That's the question I have right now. I want to check like what is exactly happening. Why is the 7.5. Okay. All right. By the way, this is how you can debug. Basically, these are some of the, like, one of the good things about using Amplify Shader Editor is like I can easily debug like what is happening, which is good. And we can also choose a different volume as well. I'm gonna use this one. This, something like this. I think 0.75 distortion. Five, 0.75, right? Add. We have to add. That's too much, yeah. Second. Reduce the speed a bit. अरे यार बड़ा क्यों हो रहा है? Reduce the speed a bit. Minus 0.4. All right. So now we have the flame. I'm going to do the. So we'll call this flame, and I'm going to do the smoke now on top of this. So the way we can do the smoke is again quite simple. We're going to use the same technique, but we're going to have like a smoke trail coming out of this. So let's create a new chord for the smoke. Let's see if we can use the same, or can we use the same material for the smoke? I think we should be able to. The only thing that will change now is the mask for the smoke, but other than that, it should be just fine. So let's make a quick mask for the smoke in Photoshop. If you guys have any questions, let me know. So for the smoke, let's just let's make the mask. So this is going to be the mask for the smoke, and it's going to be a simple mask. We're just going to do something like why aren't you using particle system here for the smoke? Particle system, I can use the particle system, but it's going to be unnecessarily. I'll have to emit a bunch of chords to create that, and I'm going to show you an alternate way to create the smoke using the chord system itself. And for the dust, small dust that are coming out or embers that are coming out, I'm going to use the particle system. So I'll quickly show you how we can do it like this. So it's going to be pretty easy to do this because we have the shader now. So the idea would be that I'll distort this texture left right in the shader itself to make it look like a trail of smoke is coming out, and hopefully it will look good. So let's just erase this from top like this and from bottom so that we don't have harsh. And let's just center this. And I'm going to be streaming until 9:30 p.m. today, if you guys are curious. So smoke, flame, smoke, mask. So let's just quickly bring this to, oh shit, I closed the, so I'm going to create let me see if, yeah, oh shit, create smoke. So we're going to use everything is going to be the same except for the mask, and what we're going to do is that put this, and we're going to drag and drop our smoke here, and we're going to call this smoke, and this is going to be flame. And so you can see the smoke right now. Okay, I'm going to play again because I don't know why this happens. Like in Unity, this thing does not refresh for some reason. Smoke. I'm going to turn off I'm going to clamp this. And okay, I'm not going to do it in real time. And we have to change the color to black, and obviously black won't work here. Oh, black is working. Yeah. So see, so we have a basic smoke working already. So yeah, we have this working. I'm going to change the color of this main camera to something else so that you guys can see what is happening. And I can change this into a temple ground. Do we have the temple ground? Just put this one. Is this better than before? I think we should have temple floor. Yeah, we have the temple floor. Yeah. You can see some of our terrain shaders basically. This one has a bunch of stuff. You can see this is made by an artist, Adarsh, at the studio, and it uses vertex colors too. We can paint. It's our own shader, and so we can paint the sand and everything in this. Uh, Obviously the tiling does not fit here, but technically this should be the size of this, I believe so. Yeah, approximately this is the size, but let's not push it. Yeah. So I think this should be harsher here. This is too. Let's play and see how it looks. Yeah, so we have a smoke. Let's do it like this. Let's not have the smoke break. So literally I'm distorting the straight line into this, and I hope this is clear as to what we are doing right now. And if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. If you want the smoke to move slowly, we can do that as well. And look at the naming that I've done. It's so crappy. Let's just fix all the namings right now, because I won't be able to work like this. So let's call this span speed 01. And let's call this span speed 02. So we have this, and let's not, for some reason step 01 and step 02 is inverted. Let's flip that. So in Amplify Shader Editor, you can use this window to order the variables that are displayed over here. So I can, move them. And if I now press, you can see here that the step 1 will be in the correct order now. So if I press this, so step 1 is in the correct order. And it should not be called step 1, it should be called dissolve. Where is the dissolve? Yeah, here. Dissolve 01 and dissolve 02. We're gonna clean this further, but for now this is fine. So right now the main problem that I see is that the flame is, okay, so variables got reset. Shit. Let me just fix the variables back. Let's just change this dissolve value to slider. Now we can have better control over how we want this to be. We can even have a thicker smoke. If you want a thicker smoke, we can just increase the size of this. And then if I save this, see how that looks. Photoshop. Yeah, so we have a thicker smoke right now. I don't know which one looks good. I think this is too thick. Let's reduce it a bit. A bit. Okay, I think this size is fine. Let's look at our flame and see if we can now the speed matches. And I think I'll change the color of this as well, the floor, so that you guys can see what is happening actually. Not this one. Floor. That's the same. Can I use ground or something? Let's just use this one. Alright. So the speed is of course not matching still, so let's just fix that. So the speed. All sorts of stuff here. What else can we do? We can even break a little bit. Increase the size as well. Then the pan speed can be 5. We need the shadows. Let's not have the shadows right now. Oh, we don't have the alpha because we don't want such a harsh. We don't want such a harsh this thing, so what can we do to remove the harshness? I think we can go to the shader and we can give its alpha color. This thing. Now I believe we'll have a control for this as well, so we can reduce the should this be a little slower? Distortion. Don't I have the, oh, I got it. I didn't give the distortion fan speed. Oh shit. Recently my feed has been full of Raspberry Pi. Have you seen those small handheld consoles? Those are so cool. Yeah, I've seen those, but I believe most of them, most of the people that create them use, there is some some people have made games with that as well, right? Like I saw some Nintendo clones and things like that made. It was really cool how people are making them, and it's a good learning like project as well if you're doing everything from scratch. I believe Raspberry also has some what do you call it, abstraction layer if you want it, but I think you can manipulate the memory and create some really cool projects like that, like creating your own small software renderer and things like that, which can be a really good exercise for distortion paths for a lot of people. Property and yeah, I think this should be. So now I should be able to manipulate the speed. Yep. So we have the speed of this thing manipulated as well. Alright, so now we'll have now we'll make the distortion. So one way to create distortion would be to grab, how should I explain this? So let's say we have a chord, right? And this chord, what we're going to do is that we're going to project whatever is behind in the camera, like whatever is here in the camera space to this chord, and then we are going to use normal map to distort the texture and make it look like the haze effect that we want, basically. So our goal is to create a haze distortion effect. So something like this, and we are going to do, that's the technique that we are going to use basically. So let's create a distortion shader. And I'm going to create a new shader. Turn this off. Okay. So let's create a new shader. Window amplify shader. We can do it through here directly itself. Motivated to build a 7 in console with my own renderer base. Feels like a fun project to dive in. Yeah, it's going to be a fun project. It's going to be a difficult project. So make sure you scope. I think you should create Pong with just 2 paddle and a pixel moving here and there. And if once you're comfortable with that, then you can proceed with more complex projects. Or an XN0. So let's create a shader for the stream. So call this Oh my god, where's amplify shader? We're gonna build a surface shader. We're gonna call this distort flame. We're gonna call this haze. Alright. And this is, oh shit. Arey yaar, surface. So this is going to be unlit. It's going to be transparent. And what we're going to do is that we're going to use grab screen color, and this is something that Unity gives us. It's a global variable that Unity gives. Basically what you do is that you take the camera's screen color and then you paste it onto the texture basically, or you at least get that color. So I'll show you what I mean. So if I just debug this shader, I'll grab the screen color and debug this shader, and you'll see what I mean. So we're gonna use stream, and we're going to create a material for this. Stream haze for now, and then so I'm going to create another chord, and so you see that this is a simple chord, right? And now what we're going to do is that when I drop this haze texture, you can see that it's literally taking the texture from behind this, whatever this camera is, like whatever is projected through this camera, and then it's being projected onto the texture. There is actually a chord here, but you're not able to see it. So let's say you want to create an effect where you want to blur whatever is behind this chord, or you want to turn it into a black and white image. You can just do that. So if I just pass the red channel, and if I compile, you can see whatever is behind this chord is black and white. So you can create some cool effects. You can see that it's black and white now. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this technique. So whatever is over here, we are going to distort that, and that's how we are going to create a haze effect basically. So that is the concept. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to grab screen color, and we're going to grab screen position. We're going to use normal map. And grab screen position. Give me a moment. Let me just read the documentation once. You can see the documentation. So yeah, so technically that's what I have to do. So I'll just add the normal map to this. Then multiply. Where is that documentation? Oh. Sorry, I'm going to pass this in the UV. This. Then I'm going to put that emission. So now there is nothing over here. But some kind of a normal map. Do I have a distortion normal map? Do I have any normal maps which I can use for distortion? Give me a moment. Let me just see if I have any normal maps. Yeah, I have a Perlin noise normal map, right? Let's use this. So now you can see, I don't know whether you can see, but there is slight distortion over here basically. And 1 second. I'll increase the strength, that's when you will clearly get to know. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to create a float slider. Scale to it. I'm going to call this distortion strength. You can even call it haze strength. Create. I don't think so. This has to be. So this can be 1 by. Oh shit! Sorry. This can be 1 by default. And now since we have this property, if I increase the there's no normal map here. So let's put some normal map. What is that called? Water normal map. Yeah, so you can see now there is distortion. And if I increase the strength, you can see it's getting distorted even further. Right? So what we can do is that we can put this over here. Just behind. And then we can use a panner to pan the UVs. How to make those textures like the normal patterns and all those. So I mean generally we use the 3D. You can use Blender to create this normal map. Like you can distort the mesh and then make the normal map, or there is one where you can do diffuse to normal. I'll show you that website. So there's one tool online. So if I need a specific kind of a texture, I use that basically. Let me just check PNG to normal map. Is it still around? Yeah, so I use this one, and I can run a Perlin noise and just create a normal map through this. Or if it's a complex normal map which I can't draw in Photoshop, then I'll just use Blender or ZBrush to create the patterns that I need. Let's say for example like blood or something like that. So we'll create a mesh for the blood and then we'll bake the normal maps like we generally bake normal maps, and that's how we can create that. Normal map basically holds the lighting information in different channels, so X, Y, and Z, and then it is I think it's passed through the, what do you call it, during the fragment shader. It's passed through there's a specific way that it computes the light, and it shows whatever the so generally normal map is used to project the detail from a high poly mesh to the low poly mesh. So the lighting information is packed into normal map and then it's projected into the low poly mesh, and you see all sorts of detail in it basically. I can actually show you one of our characters. So for example, if you see this character that we have here with all details and things like that, right? It has a lot of details basically. It's something that I sculpted. So it has a lot of details over here, but this detail is coming through normal map. So if I turn off the normal map, this is how the mesh looks. So there is no detail now, but with normal maps everything gets accented. So that's how normal maps work basically. So we were in the haze, right? So what we'll do is that we'll pan the haze now first. So we'll pan the haze by doing 0.5. Oh no, not minutes. There is no. So we can see that if I press the play button, you can see the haze actually panning, right? We are panning this, and we can reduce the haze strength to make sure that it's not bad. And we'll go texture sample. We'll call this haze normal map. And oh, it went away. Okay. So you can see the haze behind this thing. But obviously the haze is all over the place here, and the speed of the haze is also too much. So we are going to convert this into property so that the haze is limited. So you can see the hazing happening over here right now. So right now obviously there is no mask for the haze, so we're going to quickly add a mask to it. Flame mask. No, where is that mask that we had created? What is the mask that we had? Yeah, this mask. So we're going to use this glow alpha mask actually. So we're going to multiply and make a mask out of it. And then we're going to apply the mask to our haze effect. So this is going to be glow alpha. Oops. That is because it's not transparent. So let's not add it to the emission. Let's keep the emission as it is. But let's add this to opacity. And now you can see that our haze is only in this area basically. If I scale it, you'll see. Let's see if this works. Oh, it's not going to show me. Just put it over here just to debug. It's this big. I'm going to add it over here. Let's see if this works. So we have the haze strength. I think we'll use a more simple glow effect. Yeah. So we have the haze effect working now. If I increase the strength, you can clearly see. Oh my god, there's too much haze happening right now. Let me just see how it's debugging. It's too big. Is the haze working now? Yep. So if you want, we can put the haze in front as well, but I think that'll defeat the purpose. So we'll put it behind. So we have the haze working now, and let's move to, actually, yeah, let's move to the dust, and that'll be it for today. After dust, I'm going to stop. I'll quickly make dust, it won't take much time, but if I turn this off right now, it'll revert back. That's the problem. Set this up like this. Okay. And now let's add dust to this. This will be haze. So let's go to effects, particle system. So we're going to have some embers popping out of this guy, like small dust particles. It's going to be pretty easy. I'm sure most of you know how to do this. So this is the shape through which the particle effects will spawn, and if you want to see how it looks, we can turn on the gizmo, and I want it to spawn like this from here. Oh, oh, oh. Let's just go to the top view, go to the center. Just reduce the size a bit. Let's just reduce all right, 0.025 maybe, and the speed should drastically be reduced. That's not how it will be. Oh my god, 1 and 2, yeah, sorry. It's too much. And add some orbital moment, and we'll randomize this. And now we can do a little bit of this. And then we'll change, create, I have a glow shader basically, I'll use the glow shader. Use this. I'll not use this speed, instead I'll use, oh sorry, okay, this is, let's do a curve, and let's is the speed 8. Let's change the size. And there's too much of it coming right now. So let's put random 25. So that's not always constant. Let's change the color. Oh my god, sorry. It's too big. Too big. And yeah, I think this this should be it. We can even do stretched. I don't know how the stretched will look. Yeah, we add some stretching to it. So now if I press play, you can see how it looks. I'll show you one technique that you can do to really get this guy up and running. VFX audio. Best. So what we can do is that we can really go crazy with the dust. Oh yeah. So we can have this really glow and then reduce the size even further. Yeah. And then again, it's too much. Okay, so we have that. So I think that's about it, guys. Should I just turn this? Let me just see if the haze is in the correct position. Array Unity, why is your lighting like this? Smoke should go up. System. Put some sound. Now hopefully you guys can see this much more clearly. I think I need to fix position of everything. Position is a little awkward right now. I'll do this. Yep. So there is nothing behind the this only because there's nothing behind the haze to actually distort it. That's why it's not visible that much. But now you guys can see. I think we can change the haze. How is the haze doing? Let's do it's too much. Even now it's too much. I think now we can see the haze here. Right. If you are not able to see that, then I'll put a capsule or something behind. The capsule maybe I'll put another this guy behind so that you can see what is happening. It's still too strong, so all right. Now we have the haze. So let's do some testing and see how this looks. What is the haze? Top view, smoke, flame, we have the haze. I think that's it, guys, for this week's stream. I hope you got a little bit of insight on how we make VFX for Yodha and there at least some environmental effect. Nothing too complex here, but still got an idea of how we create some of the effects in the game. Basically, there's a lot more to this, but yeah, let me know if you guys enjoyed today's stream and if this was informative, or if there's any tips on improving the workflow. I think we can do one more thing, which is which will make it look much better, which is basically have a little bit of the light shimmering like this, and we can do that with code. And if you want next stream, we can continue with that. I think that's one last thing that we can do, and maybe next week we can do work on some features of the game. rather than VFX and change the stream a little bit. So, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this stream, and thank you so much. Good night.